Hello, welcome to Today in History. My name is Sotonye Afiesimama. Let's get cracking. Let's roll back the blind. This time we're going to go a couple of centuries back to the year 1849. On this day, this man pictured here, you might have guessed his name already. His name is Edgar Allan Poe. He was an American short story writer. He was a poet and critic. He died on this day in Baltimore, Maryland. So a little bit more about Edgar Allan Poe. He is best known for his poetry and short stories, particularly his tales of mystery and the macabre. He is widely regarded as a central figure of Romanticism in the United States and of American literature as a whole, and he was one of the country's earliest practitioners of the short story. He is also generally considered the inventor of the detective fiction genre, and is further credited with contributing to the emerging genre of science fiction. Poe was the first well-known American writer to earn a living through writing alone, resulting in a financially difficult life and career. 1990 on this day. This guy, pictured right here, whose name is, you guessed it, Heinrich Himmler. Full name Heinrich Leopold Himmler was Reichsführer of the Schutzstaffel, so in English is a protection squadron of the SS, the Secret Service, and a leading member of the Nazi Party of Germany. Himmler was one of the most powerful men in Nazi Germany and the main architect of the Holocaust. So that's Himmler pictured here, who was born on this day. The year was 1900. 1931. This man, Archbishop Desmond Tutu, from South Africa. Full name Desmond Tutu, was born on this day. He is a South African Anglican cleric and theologian, known for his work as an anti-apartheid and human rights activist. I guess you can see that from this book here, titled Fighting Apartheid. He was the Bishop of Johannesburg from 1985 to 1986, and then the Archbishop of Cape Town from 1986 to 1996, in both cases being the first Black African to hold the position. Theologically, he sought to fuse ideas from Black theology with African theology. Tutu was born of mixed Xhosa and Botswana heritage to a poor family in Klerksdorp, Union of South Africa. Entering adulthood, he trained as a teacher and married Nomalitza Leah Tutu, with whom he had several children. In 1960, he was ordained as an Anglican priest, and in 1962 moved to the United Kingdom to study theology at King's College London, and was awarded degree from University of London. In 1966, he returned to Southern Africa, teaching at the Federal Theological Seminary and then the University of Botswana, Lesotho, and Swaziland. So that's Bishop Desmond Tutu. So happy birthday, Archbishop Desmond Tutu. He is 89 today. We now move on to 1934. His name, pictured here, is Amiri Baraka. Now that was not his original name. He was previously known as Leroy Jones. He was a playwright, poet, novelist, and essayist. Amiri Baraka wrote of the experiences and anger of African Americans. He was author of numerous books of poetry and taught at several universities, including the State University of New York at Buffalo, and the State University of New York at Stony Brook. He died, unfortunately, in the year 2014. We move on to the year 1944. Dumbarton Oaks Conference took place. This is the building where it took place on this day in 1944. What happened there? This was the day that the League of Nations essentially became the United Nations. So the United States was involved in this meeting as hosts, China, the Soviet Union, and the United Kingdom. So they met to formulate proposals for a world organization that became the basis for the United Nations. So this was the day that the meeting was concluded in Washington, D.C., Dumbarton Oaks building in Washington, D.C. 1952, the strongman of Russia, Vladimir Putin, was born. He's a Russian politician and served as President and Prime Minister of Russia. So, happy birthday, Mr. Putin. Also, another strongman, this time in the United Kingdom, and this time strongman of music, Simon Cowell, pictured here, was born on this day in 1959. He's a British television producer. Simon Philip Cowell is an English television personality, entrepreneur, entertainment manager, and record executive. Cowell is a principal, founder, and chief executive of the British entertainment company Syco. After some success in the 1980s and 1990s as a record producer, talent scout, and consultant in the UK music industry, Cowell came to public prominence in 2001 as a judge on Pop Idol, a show which he and its creator Simon Fuller successfully pitched to ITV controller of entertainment Claudia Rosenkrantz. He was judged on the British television talent competition series Pop Idol in 2001 to 2003. He was also judged on the X Factor 2004 to 2010, and then 2014 to present, and Britain's Got Talent from 2007 to 2020, and the American television talent competition series American Idol, which ran from 2002 to 2010, the X Factor 2011 to 2013, and America's Got Talent 2016 to 2020. So that's Simon Cowell, who was born on this day in 1959. So happy birthday, Simon Cowell. 1996. On this day, controversial Fox News channel, created by Roger Ailes for Rupert Murdoch's News Corporation, was launched in the United States. So 1996, on this day, we got the Fox News channel came to life, if you like. 1996, October 7th. Last but not least, there's war, the day of war on this day. So basically triggered by the September 11th attacks. So remember now, we're in October, this is October 7th, about a month after September 11th. The Afghanistan war began as the US and British warplanes started bombing Taliban targets. So obviously, the Taliban were fingered in the 9/11 attacks, and obviously The United States and United Kingdom sought to revenge or to avenge this attack, or the attacks that took place on this day, on September the 11th, 2001. So that's a picture of the day that the war against the Taliban started. I don't know. Is the world a safer place today? I guess I'm going to leave that question hanging. So on that note, guys, we're just going to wrap it up today, or today's edition of Today in History. We all hope for a safer world. We're now in an era where no one's sure what's going on anymore. There's fear looming everywhere. The COVID crisis, people not sure this is real, people saying it's man-made. The fear that when the vaccine is ready, when you get vaccinated, you're going to have a microchip underneath your skin. There's so much going on. But bottom line is, we all need to be content, try. It's easier said than done. Like, in spite of all that's going around us, just to find that peace deep within. And no matter what happens, as long as you're happy, life goes on, really. That's all what I can say, or we should be saying to each other, to try to reassure each other that life must go on. Life must go on. We cannot let other people or systems or government take our freedom. I'm not saying try and resist violently, but be at peace with yourself, be at peace with other people, and you'll be happier. It's a virtuous cycle. You be at peace, you're going to be happy. When you're happy, you're at peace. That's a note to myself as well, by the way. Still trying to figure all this stuff out myself as well. Anyway, guys, thanks for dropping by. I hope we can hang out tomorrow, October 8th, for another edition of Today in History. My name again is Sotonie Afiesimama. Stay safe, and give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and consider subscribing as well so that you receive updates of my video uploads. Share this with your family and friends as well. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.